Did you know that in life you can do whatever you want? Like, I'm talking besides typical dreams and aspirations. Yeah, this is a visual episode, by the way, like, get real. Besides dreams and aspirations, you can actually just decide the actions you want to partake in. Like me, for example, doing this episode out here. You know, my friend showed me the spot a year ago. He says he comes here to ponder life and kind of what open road can bring it to you. And me today, I decided to, take it a bit easier for y'all and just make a relaxed Jason alone episode. You might say, Jason, that's another one. And that's not true. I have my friends with me here. For example, Ari and I are going to talk about the open world and linear games and what he thinks about all that. Me, being an avid gamer, I'll tell you right now, I'm a big fan of that topic, video games. But before we get into that, I'm just gonna say, Austin especially, he mentioned that he really liked a concept about my content where I put on this mask I got on right now and I head over into the city to conquering everything and just be my own nuisance self in person. So that's what I decided to do. And I would like for you to lock in and enjoy this beautiful view with me. Right now I'm seeing like miles upon miles of free space. But that kind of reminds me, in Just Cause 4, you can do so much in the open world. So many vehicles, so many other things. So here's what I think. I think Ari should take over from here.
People argue about open world games versus linear games, and they always use definites.
Yeah, okay.
Linear games are always better, and open world games are better for exploration. When in truth,
for sure.
it all depends on the strength of the world the game built. Linear games are completely built with their world in mind and what the game wants you to experience, while open world games will plop you down in a giant sandbox and sprinkle all around things the game wants you to experience.
You have a much better chance of adapting the things the way you wanted to adapt them. You have a more control over the story and the experiences of a player. Because yes, sure, you can have a much interesting encounters in the open world and it offers more freedom, but should we treat the games as the art piece and a way to interact with the world? Or should we treat the games and art piece as an experience that a creator just decided to put through that specific medium? Ari?
While open world games have a hard time keeping the experiences focused, since it's up to the players to find them, linear games can take its players on whatever journey they want to go down. I love open world games due to the freedom and flexibility it gives me to go at my own pace.
Quite interesting. Well, you know what, Ari? I will tell you is that the linearity allows such... Because even the linearity in a narrative way doesn't limit us to approaching things differently. Because when you talk about open world, yes, you have the experience of these paysages and, I see a mountain in the far distance and I can head over to that mountain and just head over. But I don't know, every time is a different experience. I gotta get down. I saw a police car in there. The thing with linear is, my point is, video games meant to be explored. And with linear, what's stopping me? Tell me what's stopping me from watching a movie? There's I shoot the guy, but in terms of if we're talking just stories straight away, I don't really see that big of a difference. But what I want to know is, what is your favorite one specifically?
I feel the most focused and better experiences I've had in gaming have been linear games.
I guess we're going to have to agree to disagree. Because if I'm honest, I need exploration. I need worlds to explore. I need to make my own conscious choices if I'm going left or I'm going right. And in a linear way, or even how do I approach it, you know what I mean? And yes, the trendiness is kind of building of, the Ubisoft-ish of like, you gotta unlock the tower to see the area. But even that, like, I don't really mind. World itself is repetitive, but yeah, I guess I see your point. Yeah, man, I don't know. I just the I'm just gonna be honest. Yeah, I was supposed to be here like 3 hours ago, and I'm even doing this because I forgot to record. I don't know where I'm going. It's because I wanted the sunset. I wanted the sun drowning this place. I wanted me on with the red glow behind me, and now this is all I got. This little covered in spider webs. The light. And the darnest thing is, like, it's not like I had imperative things to do. I laid on the couch for an hour watching, like, content. And I don't know if it's relatable at all, but I'm like, why can't I make myself get up? It's the stupidest thing. So now, like, I don't hate this. This is a nice thing. But I think, Austin, is what I want to ask you is, like, who is that one person in your craft, since you're a musician, that kind of makes you defeat those barriers, like crawl through that? Because to me, it's nobody. I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, I started this little law thing in uni, and man, I don't know.
So I think anybody that knows me knows that my favorite musician is Adam Randall Young, better known as Owl City. You know, the Fireflies guy. And for some reason, Jason has prompted me to say a few things that I've learned from him. Well, I can definitely say 3 things that I think he sets a good example in. Number 1 is being yourself. Now, I'm sure if he had really tried, he could probably still be at the top of Hollywood today. And he was at the top.
He was big.
For a few years, from like 2009 to I'd say 2013, he was at the top. But you know, being famous was never really what he wanted to do. He just wanted to make the music he wanted to make. And for a few brief years, that just so happened to be what people around the world wanted to hear. And that's fine. Nowadays, if anything, he's more of a recluse than he was before he got famous. But what has stayed true since he started making music is that he has remained true to himself. The second thing I would say Adam is a good example in is to not be angry. Now, this is obviously a lot harder for some people than other people, and I'm sure there are things that frustrate him, but I'm not saying he never gets angry.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he doesn't glorify getting angry. If anything, he doesn't give his anger a platform. He doesn't let it define any part of him, which is why I would say he's a good example in that.
The anger part is kind of what I want to really kind of bounce on is, I don't think the whole thing about anger is that it's not that you don't get angry, it's that you find ways to redirect it.
I think a lot of problems in the world could be solved if people weren't so quick to anger. Now, I know it's very ironic that I'm saying this to someone named the Angry Demon.
For sure, the Angry Demon.
But then again, irony is my name. The last thing I would say about Adam is that he's very humble. Even when he was at the top of the world, he didn't ever let it go to his head. He always kept like a sense of wonder around him and just marveled at the places he was able to go and the things he was able to experience. But all the while, he was still just the small town guy from Minnesota. I think he always knew that his time in the spotlight was limited and that he just wasn't built to be a sustained celebrity like Taylor Swift, and so he was able to very easily adjust back to relative irrelevance. I think that's important for anyone to realize. No matter how good something might be in your life, it could all go away very quickly.
Because to me, it's perfect. You step out, you have your masterful years of, moving the way he was moving. Tours, shows, deals, all that. You save your money, and then you can chill. I guess that's kind of the American dream, is to just chill. The new American dream, man. And I guess my point is, how could this, don't you think Taylor Swift is you brought in your example is a bit miserable? Because like you got to be exhausted after a point, and like you can't turn it off. He did in a way, on his own, not really on his own. This I just saw a fly indirectly into a spider's mouth, and he ate that. Wow, we don't get an equivalent of that, kinda. You know what I mean? It's not like a burger's gonna just fly into my mouth. I guess us flying a fly flying into our mouth is an equivalent of that, because that's protein. But that's just me talking. This is levels for my social anxiety. You know what I mean? On the time I didn't record, there was a grandpa who was coming in, and I'm like, oh yeah, well, it was good. He just like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just chilling. He's like, with the camera? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, cool. And he's like, I'm like, you want to be part of it? And he's like, yeah. And he just kind of stood here, talked to me, and bounced. It's and I lost it, and it's gone just like that. That's the worst part. It's gone nowhere. It's not even on the mic because I'm rolling all together. Yeah, man. The air here is nice. I miss the country air, man. I miss it. The air was fresh in Wyoming, man. Didn't have allergies as much, and I miss horse riding. Went a couple of times, man. That's fun. Role-playing cowboys, especially the Western thing, is last week we did, really got me going for the cowboy thing. Oh man, I don't even know if we're gonna make it, because I wonder if the mic picks it up well. Actually, the soundscape of like the highway nearby. And do we have to have a highway right by the water? First of all, climate change, sustainability. You know what I mean? They're just gonna rise up and eat it. Just kidding. Am I? Whatever. But just like, you know, I can't hear the water. All I hear is woo, woo. Yeah, but it is doing wonders to my social anxiety. I didn't even I used to scoff at the anxiety thing. And like, oh, I'm not anxious. Come on, that's a little pussy shit. Come on, I can walk. I am, bro. Permanently, I would even say. It's a hard realization to make to make. Like I know accepting is the first part, but tough. Like I'm saying, so tough. 'Cause like. I guess the only limitation is the limit you really put on yourself. And I don't mean to sound like the podcast bros who just yap away, but nobody's stopping you to do this. You can do this. Like I opened the episode with this, and like you can absolutely do this. I'm doing it now. I was afraid people were gonna be like calling the cops on me, like this guy in a mask, and it's not. Look, it's me. This flag. I don't know if you can see the flag, but it's right there. But like I'm okay, and I'm getting a breeze. I'm feeling great. The more I do it, the better I feel. So I don't know what was this debacle on the couch earlier about. That's what I don't understand. It wore me out mentally. I sat in the car for 30 minutes here, like embryo position. It's exhausting to be myself sometimes. But you gotta do it. And I think the inspiration is not necessarily from the figures of like idols in a way. I don't want to call him an idol, but like, I guess an idol. The inspiration doesn't only come from that. I feel like anywhere it can burst through, no matter what character, and I'm saying fictional, non-fictional, because one of my favorite open world girls I played was Miles Morales, and I got my own video cooking about it. And I always do that. I always say I got my shit cooking, but it's not even a slow cooker. I don't even know. It's a hyperbolic time chamber cooker. But either way, like, Spider-Man was dope, and I want Jacob to kind of talk about a little bit Spider-Man and why he as a character inspires him, and like what kind of qualities not only I guess me and him, but overall people should adapt. from the character as is.
I think anyone who's been listening to this podcast for more than an episode or two probably knows that Spider-Man is regarded as my #1 favorite superhero. So I thought this would be a great time to talk about some characteristics I think people can learn to adopt and inspire to have to help improve themselves as a person. I think Spider-Man, better known as Peter Parker.
I'm saying, like, it's so funny that you say better known as Peter Parker. I think he's actually better known as Spider-Man. But that's just me, though. Who am I to say?
Is probably most known for his sense of responsibility. Despite how strong Spider-Man is and what he's really capable of, Spider-Man stays grounded and committed to using them for the greater good. I think another huge characteristic Spider-Man is known for is probably his resilience. Despite time after time of getting his ass kicked.
I'm saying, like, I was... For the audio listeners, you're missing out on a big thing right now. I'm dressed up in downtown as Spider-Man, hanging out on this metallic structure. People walking down, looking at me all weird. I'm saying, like, this podcast is taking me to heights. This time, actually, literal, that I was not prepared to. There's a dog looking at me weird. The owner on his phone, he know what the fuck going on. But look, I'll tell you right now. Me as a Spider-Man, I threw down with a lot of people. And what I prefer to think is that I got the hottest woman in the superhero game, and that's kind of what kind of keeps me pushing. So that's what I'm saying. Somebody peeing in the bushes in the back there. But yeah, Jacob, back to you.
And some of the loss Spider-Man endures during some of his stories.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is known to always get back up. And again, with his sense of responsibility, uses his powers to help save the day. And I think the last trait Spider-Man is probably most known for,
just swag. I think that's what it's called, but that's me. That's just me.
it's just his empathy and kindness. Unless our boy Peter has the symbiote, he treats every human being with
We don't
so
talk
much
about that.
compassion and always gives everyone he talks to the time of day, if he isn't busy trying to be Spider-Man. Anyways, if every person on Earth was at least 25% of what Peter Parker was as a person, Earth would probably be a pretty great place.
I'm telling you, chat, like, it's tough being Spider-Man, and balancing everything. I actually like to consider myself a little bit like Spider-Man, having all this secret identity stuff but it's instead of being Spider-Man, I just get on the internet and get to yap with my 3 friends, and that's kind of enjoyable, I can't lie. But me and Spider-Man, we're not that different. Symbiote, that arc is not there yet. I don't know where and when I will be contacted by the alien life, but so far I'm enjoying it, you know what I mean? And let me tell you, when this one I'm talking about to you is social anxiety, this is it, bro. Like, who else out here sitting in a full Spider-Man, this is like Spider-Man on a laundry day type shit. Or like early years, you know what I mean? I got early years fit on. But yeah, who else doing it like that? Is your favorite podcast doing this? I don't think so. I don't think so. Podcast, but outside. Talk about being outside. But look, a lot of people ask, like, what does inspire us? And I did that Black Flash bit, and it was all fun and games, but what really inspires me is, I think, the versatility of this podcast. I never had the opportunity to just yap my mind off just by myself. So I think I'll just answer the questions I wish somebody had asked me. So peep this, right? I think we are the most versatile as we can get with this podcast, because we got no label, we got no MMM or multi-channel network, whatever that machinima thing. We got the best opportunity to just do whatever we goddamn want. And the Western episode be the example. We can literally do whatever. There's 4 people down there looking at me straight up. And yeah, whatever. And I just did and the thing about that is, I don't really want to trade that up, I just want to keep pushing, man. I just want to keep making stuff that I like. Because pull up and like, I'm not singling anything out, but I guess an experience with a label that tells you like, and like, you know, it's no secret we were in negotiations and we didn't sign no NDA, I think. Did we? Well, nobody here to stop me, so I think the best part about it is that like they would tell you to do X, Y, and Z, which, yeah, maybe that would have boosted us in a certain way, but the demographic that would have brought, first of all, would not be the thing with the people we would rock with, and like the circles and the communities that would bring us to would not be the people I would want to be around. So either way, I believe in just doing you, and I would even gladly take more time to make something happen rather than conform and just get my integrity taken away. I think that's kind of the way I want to rock, and that's kind of the philosophy I want to adopt. And I think the boys are entirely with me because that's what we talked about. And what motivates is being able to just do whatever. Like, yeah, I don't have to pitch to anybody, you know what I mean? I don't have to be like, oh, can I dress up on a Spider-Man and just do this? Like, obviously not having a team is tough. Like, I wish I had somebody filming with me, but even then, like, some of my friends are not available, some of my friends just don't know, and that's completely fine, you know what I mean? But look, people were smiling down there when I was like, imagine walking through the city, you see Spider-Man sitting up there. It's tough. It's tough out here. So look, I don't think I would trade this up for anything. And the whole sense of responsibility, and I actually do feel responsible for this podcast in a way, but not in like a dreadful way anymore. Not that it was before, but a little bit, I guess. I was like, oh, yo, I gotta do this. But I've come to a revelation that recently I don't have to treat this as like a 9-to-5, because I like doing this. That's the best part, is that like, because we had these deals, we had these producers, and then they tapped out, these people tapped out, but we're still here, you know what I mean? Excuse me, I'm talking here. But like, we've been through so much, and we're still here, we're still persevering. So like, I don't really see the point of not continuing. Yeah? Double negative? Right on. So I don't really see the point of not continuing, because we're like that. Like, we're still here. And I like doing this for the sake of simply doing it. And fame, no fame, money's nice, and shout out some dude as always, and shout out Twitch as always. But would I do it without it? And answer is yes. I think connecting with people, and just like getting messages from people like, oh, this made my day, this made my night, and just being able to, it is creative expression, because like, what is this if not creative expression, you know? So yeah, I think that's what motivates me personally, is like having the ability to do this because I want to, and having the privilege, you know, to rock with this. It's something, man. It's something. It is a privilege. It's a blessing, and I'm gonna keep doing it even if it's like not popping off like crazy, not millions in the bank here and there. Hey, this recession and whatever. But look, we as creatives, I think, and just as content creators, and like, I'm not talking about influencers, because, you know, that's a slur for me. If somebody call a content creator an influencer, to me it's fighting words. But I believe we as content creators, we should be looking out for each other. And like all these fake beefs and people like Keemstar, you know, we can do better. We can do better. I believe we can do better. I believe we can move away from this trend that's going on right now of the one-trick pony, of people having to do only one type of content to stay relevant on TikTok and etc. and like be recognized for that. It is tough that it's only FYPs everywhere now, and you don't even have a say in your followers engaging with you. And funny enough, when YouTube was rolling out that whole thing of like, oh, click the bell, they were kind of visionary about it, in a way that like kind of they saw it coming. So I don't know, man. I'm really like I'm 50-50 on this, because FYP is nice as a concept, and personally as a consumer, I enjoy consuming it in that way. But otherwise, I'm not really sure if that's kind of the direction the industry as a whole should be moving. Or at least if it's an FYP, I ought to have more of the people I follow on it. Because what's the point of following? And like, I think I heard somebody say some stuff like, in the future, everybody's gonna have 5 fans and that's how they're gonna be. And we're just gonna go back to like having 5 internet friends and only following them without having to follow all the slop content. And I don't know if that's something I'm necessarily opposed to anymore. And I do catch thinking to myself a lot that I would rather not have social media sometimes. As like funny and tough as it sounds, man, so much like Twitter debate as always, but overall, just so much slop. And like the Subway Surfers thing and all of that is just, do you imagine just in terms of data how many MP4s, how much content there is everywhere? And like, name 5 last videos you've seen. Name them right now, I'll wait. Me, I can't. I can tell the last 5 TikToks I made, and even that I'm not sure. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But the thing is, because even, not to bring everything capitalism is bad, but like it's ruining it, you know what I mean? It's ruining it. And it's ruining to the point that when it started like, oh, express yourself, like the world is yours, like YouTube, like when they made that, what, 07 it was? That was nice, and then it was nicer, and then everybody started making money. Now influencer economy, now we're here in the slop era. And everything that capitalism touches ends up being like that. So I don't know what's next. I frankly don't know. It's not the AR goggles I'm telling you right now. It's not the VR, I'm telling you that as well. What's the next big thing, you know? And to answer you honestly, I don't really know. Because one way or another, right? One way or another, people want to express themselves. But is the Subway Surfer gameplay with a robot voice and a Reddit story just so TikTok can pay you? Like, it's a bubble too, you know? So once it bursts, I don't know. You hear about the labels like laying off a lot of people and like burning ties and money. There's no art integrity. There's no, and I'm not saying we're making art out here. No. I'm not saying this is art, but I'm saying like, what is this all indifference? And I'm not inventing a bicycle here either. It's just, man, it makes you think, really, don't it? But I digress. I think we should take some questions from the Q&A. I'll take like 2 for the sake of me doing the episode. Because I love engaging, so nothing I love more than the Q&A. I'll take 1 and I'll say it, and then I'll check if people listen to this episode by themselves. Because I will change my answer when we record all 4 of us. And the question was, would you rather be a cowboy or a samurai? And me, I'm going with cowboy. As you may have seen from that performance, RDR2 is my favorite game, one of them at least. And Martians got a death beam pointing on Earth, I'm picking cowboy. Because samurais, either of those lifespans were not short. But samurai, you have to do a lot of just paperwork. And like, land management and all that. Like, there's a lot of bureaucracy in being a samurai. And like, yeah, you cool, but like, you got outfits and all that. But cowboy, you can just piss off. You can just piss off, and nobody's gonna tell you nothing. Okay, yeah, my bad, chat. But you can just piss off, and you can just, like, you can put up your tent, you can hunt from the land and all that. Like, I'm not saying I'll necessarily qualify for that. There's a bus, but you know what I mean. You have more options. You have more options. Chat, my spider sense on tingling. I think I gotta go save the city. I think to close this off, I just want to say that there's really 4 pieces that I did for this episode. Is 4 locations for 4 members of the Cosmic Cast. And this one I would like to claim for myself and say, you can really do whatever you want. And the limit is your imagination. And as cliche as it sounds, bro, you really can. I want this to be kind of the morale no miles of the story, Life is beautiful, but it's only as beautiful as you allow it to be. Every time you decide that there's a certain dream that you cannot achieve, you close that door for yourself. Because how do you know? How do you know that you cannot? Have you tried? Have you tried long enough? Have you locked in? Your life is in your hands. You can sit and wait as much as you want, but after a certain point, there's no angel coming down, descending on you, and giving you a career or giving you a thing that you want. You gotta go get it, man. I'm doing it. I watched this movie, The Founder, and as much as it sucks for the McDonald's guys, rest in peace, but he said one thing, that in capitalist society, perseverance is what's going to get you. Talent, genius, it's all great, but this game is a marathon, and as long as you don't give up, you're going to cross the finish line. So I think I'm going to leave y'all with that. And see y'all next week when there's going to be all 4 of us. Or at least I hope. Peace.